Is Europe behaving differently in Ukraine refugee crisis? Why European countries are accepting the Ukrainian refugees, while they were not accepting refugees from Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Africa? Some people are calling it Europe's double standard, some are calling it racism. But is it really racism? We cannot just put racist tags in every situation. I think this is not racism. First thing is that, Ukraine and its border countries have cultural similarity. They have similar way of living, which makes it easy for Ukrainians to blend within the society of European countries. When you compare it with refugees from Islamic countries like Iraq and Afghanistan, it is totally different. They have different culture and language. In the long run, these refugees can create problem for European countries. Another reason for accepting Ukrainian refugees is that, it is believed that as soon as the war ends, most of the Ukrainians will return back to their home. Which is not the case with the other refugees, because most of them wants to get into Europe in search of better life and want to stay there forever. Next reason is the image of the home countries of these refugees. If a country has a good image internationally and have good relations with other countries, then there are good chances of refugees from that country to be accepted. It is sad to say, but this is the harsh reality that countries like Afghanistan, Syria are home to most of the terrorists in the world. And this is why most of the countries don't want to accept refugees from these countries, because it is the issue of national security for their country. Think of this like your house. So when someone comes at your door, and if you know that person and you trust him, then you will let him into your house. But if a stranger comes to your door and tries to get into your house, then what will you do? Will you let that person get into your house? Similar is the case with the refugees. It's simply the choice of individual country which refugees they want to accept and which they don't want to accept. You can't call it racist. Sometimes it's a matter of choice. You cannot just let everyone in. You also have to look for your country's interest. It's the human nature, we look for difference, and this is why we have different countries in the first place. You can't help everyone in this world. Yes, there were reports of racist behavior by Ukrainian forces during the refugee crisis. Yes, there were racist reporting from Western media, and we can't deny that. Yes, calling Ukrainian refugees civilized and blonde-haired while comparing them with other refugees was racist. But we can't paint every situation with the same brush of racism. The problem is that refugees try to get into European countries, they don't go to Gulf countries with similar culture, where they can easily accommodate within the society. The United Nations, instead of being puppet of the West, should come up with something to solve the refugee problem, like creating a safe zone for refugees within their own country. Every refugee should be treated like the Europe is treating the Ukrainian refugees, but Europe can't accept everyone. If you found this video helpful, then please give it a like. Also, if you are new to the channel, then please consider subscribing.